All right, so we got 4 more examples to finish up the 6.1 notes. And these are dividing. And the only dividing that we're going to look at right now is when the bottom is a monomial. So just one term. So on the bottom, if you look at the denominator, there's nothing being added or subtracted anywhere, just on the bottom. So what we do is we are going to take each fraction and split it up into smaller fractions. For example, we're going to take 9x cubed over 15x minus 24x squared over 15x. So you take every term in the top, the numerator, and divide it by that denominator. And we've done questions just like these individual ones at the beginning. And so go ahead and make your 2 fraction bars with the subtraction. Well, we just bring down the minus, basically. So 9 over 15, what does that simplify to? You can go into your calculator and type in the fraction 9 over 15. It is 3/5. And then we look at the variables. I have 3 x's in the top and 1 in the bottom. So when I cancel out, where are there leftover x's? How many are left over? 2. So I have x squared left in the top. Now the other one, 24 over 15. What does that simplify to? 8/5. And the x's, how do those simplify? 1 x left where? Top. Okay. And that's your final answer. Number 26. Let's go ahead and rewrite this. And then I'm going to go ahead and set up my answer. So I've got my 3 fraction bars, and this one was a minus, that one was a plus. You don't have to go ahead and set it up, but I think it makes it a little bit easier. So what does 14 over 8 simplify to? 7 over 4. And then what about the x's? Yep, so the x's, I'm left with x cubed on the top and y squared on the top. Are there any questions on how I've got the x cubed y squared? Then we have 20 over 8. What does that simplify to? 5 over 2. 5/2. All right, and we cancel out x's. We are left with one of the x's in the top. And same thing for the y's. What does 2 over 8 simplify to? 1/4. What about the x's and the y's? They all cancel, so we're just left with 1 over 4. Now, what if this was a 2 in the bottom? It was 2xy over 2xy. Would I have anything over here? You would have something. It would be a 1. It doesn't, when you cancel out, it doesn't necessarily disappear. It just goes to 1. Let's see if I can turn that down anymore. So in number 27, this should be your first step, writing them all as individual fractions. And then you need to simplify each one. So keep working on that. All right, now when you go to simplify 30 over 6, it simplifies to what? Just 5. So I'm going to go ahead and write it as 5 over 1 because we want to keep a fraction going. We may end up not needing that bottom, but we may. So keep the fraction to start off. Now your x's, you have x cubed in the top, x cubed in the bottom, so they all cancel. Then we go to our next one. What does 12 over 6 simplify to? 2 over 1, yep. Now let's look at our x's. We have one more x in the bottom than the top, right? So when we cancel out, there's still going to be an x left at the bottom. What does 8 over 6 simplify to? 4 over 3. And then when we cancel out x's, how many am I left with? 2 of them on the bottom, so x squared on the bottom. So if I want to rewrite this, I would probably write it as 5, because 5 over 1 is just 5. We didn't end up with anything else on the bottom. Minus 2 over x plus 4 over 3x squared. Number 28, we have 40x cubed y to the 4th over 6x squared y to the 5th minus 24x squared y to the 7th over 6x squared y to the 5th. See if you can finish that one. All right. So you should get 20x over 3y at the beginning, because the 40 over 6 simplifies to 20 over 3. And then your x's, you have one more x in the top, and then your y's, you actually have one more y in the bottom. So it's 20x over 3y, and then minus 24 over 6 simplifies to 4 over 1. Your x's completely cancel, and your y's, there were 2 more y's in the top. So when I rewrote that, and you don't really have to rewrite it, but if you had a multiple choice question, it's going to look like the one I have in the box. Because you don't really write a fraction. If there's just a 1 in the denominator, you don't have to put that. Any questions? Okay.